All right, call this meeting to order of the Tiffin City Council at 5:30. Roll call. Council at Large Boots.
Here.
Council at Large Spear.
Here.
Council Ward number 1 Leeper.
Here.
Council Ward number 2 Anderson.
Here.
Council Ward number 3 McNeil.
Here.
Any additions to the agenda? Hearing none, can I get a move to approve the agenda?
I'll make that motion.
Boots with the motion, is there a second?
Second.
Leeper with the second?
McNeil,
Yes.
Boots,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Spear,
Yes.
Leeper,
Yes.
All right, the unscheduled communications portions. If you'd like to address the city council, please step up and state your name and address for the record. All right, seeing as there is none, we'll move on to the consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda, which consists of the city council minutes from March 3rd?
So move.
Anderson with the first,
I'll second.
Boots with the second.
Boots,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Spear,
Yes.
Leeper,
Yes.
McNeil,
All right, then we move down to H, which is an ordinance approval / amendment. This is carried on from our last meeting, where it's a zoning amendment for 401 West 10th Street. This would be the second reading. Is there a motion to approve the second reading?
So move.
Leeper with the first,
Second.
McNeil with the second.
Anderson,
Yes.
Spear,
Yes.
Leeper,
Yes.
McNeil, Boots,
Yes.
Okay, so then that will be put on the agenda for the next meeting for approval, for the third reading. Then moving on to the resolutions for approval. The first one, we have the administrative assistance proposal from Callahan during interim manager's April 6th vacation.
Thank you, Mayor. This is a proposal that would allow the city to retain Pat Callahan on an as-needed basis for those times that are set forth in the schedule that's attached to this resolution. And in conversation with Pat today, and Lorna as well, Pat said that if there are issues that can be addressed by his attending, coming down to the city council building, the city hall building, he would come. If there is not, he does not need to come. So this is an hour-by-hour, as-needed basis. His charge is rounded off to $45 an hour, which is net approximately what the city managers, the interim managers' pay is. And since you don't pay me when I'm not here, and I don't have vacation time, this is a net cost savings. I will say that having Pat be in attendance at City Hall for some times provides an opportunity for staff and mayor and any of the council to bounce questions and ideas off him. Pat has a lot of experience and a lot of respect in the state of Iowa for his municipal knowledge. So there are some real pluses to his attending here. Other than that, unless there's questions, that's all I have, Mayor.
All right. Are there any questions? Seeing as there are none, is there a motion to approve this resolution? Spear with the motion, is there a second?
Second.
Anderson with the second?
Spear,
Yes.
Leeper,
Yes.
McNeil, Boots,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Okay. Moving on to the next resolution, which is the EPA DNR generation plant maintenance plan. And is that Floyd? Yes. Floyd, if you wouldn't mind stepping up and explaining some of that?
Thank you. What this is this is a maintenance plan that we need to follow, and it needs to be approved by the council to meet our EPA DNR requirements with maintenance with the plant. There's a few changes. We'll do oil testing every year instead of every 2 years, and there'll be like every time we run the engines, there will be a checklist. We'll run every other month. 1 engine or 3 engines will run maybe 1 month, and then the next month 2 engines will run, and we're going to kind of stagger them out, but they want them, you know, I have to stick to this schedule. I can do more, but I can't do less. So this is an EPA requirement, and the DNR will be enforcing the rule. Now, with that being said, I want everybody to know there was still maintenance being done at the plant before I got here and everything else. This is just a written plan that is in place. The one thing that wasn't followed too closely was like the engines that have the catalysts on them and the 2 brand new MTUs. There's no recorded documents or anything like that, which there was maintenance done, but it just wasn't in a format that the DNR likes. So, but I do want to stress that maintenance was done on them. So, and other than that, that'd be, unless you have some other questions about it.
So there'll be 1 sheet for each engine?
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yep.
And just to make sure this is what you don't have to hire this out. This
No, this will be stuff that we look at. The stuff that will be hired out will be the coolant testing. We'll have somebody do that, and then we'll have the oil testing done. And that'll be done once a year. And then this week, we're going to run all the engines that run Wednesday and Thursday. We're going to hopefully start at 1 o'clock. Each one will run for 2 hours. And then we're going to pull all of our oil samples on all the engines that we run and send them off. So,
Is this a new thing by the DNR, or the EPA, you know? having a program like this?
with these catalytic converters and stuff on them, yes, it is a new thing. If you don't follow a maintenance plan, they'll make you change oil every year, whether you run them 30 minutes or whether you ran them 300 hours. They don't care. If you don't have a written plan, and since we're going to test the oil, we can run it a lot longer as long as it doesn't have any of the condemning factors in it too high in certain things. So,
Good plan.
Okay, any other questions? All right, since there are none, can you get a motion to approve this resolution? That Spear with the first, is there a second?
I'll second.
Boots with the second?
Hoover,
Yes.
McNeil,
Yes.
Boots,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Spear,
Yes.
All right, the next resolution, which is solicitation of pricing for 2 megawatt generator set by either request for bids or utilization of the National Joint Powers Alliance.
This one's mine. Thank you, Mayor. I'm going to say this at the beginning, I'm going to say it in the middle, I'm going to say it at the end. This is not requesting council authorization to solicit bids or purchase anything. The sole purpose of this action is to provide staff the allowance to look for pricing using the National Joint Powers Alliance quote process. The NJPA is similar to the Iowa state bidding process, in which, in the Iowa state bidding process, there is a department that looks for pricing for half-ton or three-quarter-ton pickup trucks, for jackhammers, for backhoes, for all the sorts of things that public entities purchase, and they establish a specification for that, and it helps to make the comparisons apple to apple when the city's go looking for this kind of equipment. This is the same sort of thing on a larger basis. And they do specify things like engine generator sets, such as the MTU units you have out there, or Caterpillar, which also produces a combined engine generator set. By using this methodology, it avoids having an engineering firm like Shermco, and there's literally a quote in your packet, having Shermco build a spec and run a bid process, and the cost of that in and of itself is $5,000. By using this process, we avoid that, and more than that, it helps to equalize the bid process so that you don't have the situation where something like this, you put out a bid spec for a 2 megawatt engine generator set, and somebody else, because you've advertised it, somebody else says, well, I've got a 2.1 megawatt engine generator set, and it's slightly different, but it still does the same thing, although it's a different kind of unit, and it might not be as valid a proposal, and you wind up having to do the apples and oranges comparison anyway, even with a bid process. Whereas with the NJPA process, we say we need an engine generator set that is between 1.9 and 2 point something megawatts, and we already have the process. So we're asking for your authority to utilize this process going forward so we can develop some alternatives for you to consider as we talk about how to put that 2 point whatever it is megs on the Fairbanks Morris unit back in service for this summer season. Any questions on that? And Floyd probably has figured out all the things I forgot to mention in the
No.
process.
That pretty much covers it. I can't think of anything.
So this is just to go through to decide whether or not to go through the National Joint, the NJPA.
Yes.
Okay.
I guess I will say though, I think the city has used that before, Clay, when they ordered the bucket truck for the electric utility. I think they
also.
on the street sweeper too. So there is some familiarization with it.
Yeah.
Oh, and we are members.
Yes. I think we should go that way.
Okay. All right. Well, then, is there a motion then
Make
to
that motion.
Lieber makes that motion? Is there a second?
I'll second.
Anderson with the second.
McNeil,
Yes.
Boots,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Spear,
Yes.
Leeper,
Yes.
All right. So the resolution passes, and now on to number 4. Authorizing Shermco Engineering to prepare certification documents for the whole entire generation fleet. And Floyd, you want to?
I'll talk about that one too.
All right.
What this will do is they'll work with MISO. This could take up to a year to do this. But what they'll do is they'll get us in the queue, is what they call it, and then they're gonna say, we'll allow you to put all of your generation online, or they may not. Very rarely do they ever say no. They're always looking for more generation wherever they can find it. So, with that being said, I'm estimating that probably staff time, we're gonna spend 10 to 20 hours total time working with them on this. There's a lot of questions that they've already asked, I've already answered. So I think things will go pretty smoothly. I'm kinda hoping it'll go a lot quicker than a year, but it could take up to a year. I know that, I think Montezuma is going through this right now because they're adding something. So, and I know Traer's done it, and another town west of here, I can't think, LaPorte City.
So once that's completed, what does that do for us?
That will get us payment for all, the entire generation fleet, minus the Fairbanks Morris OP right at the moment. So we'll get the 2 MTUs certified, plus the other, and the 2 that are in the plant now, the CPs, they're already certified in it, so that shouldn't be a problem. So, but we'll get the MTUs certified for it. So, and then hopefully explained it to Shermco is that if the OP isn't brought back online, there's a chance that, you know, we may buy a Caterpillar and put it in there too. So we got the potential later on down the road to have close to 10.5 megawatts of generation, which we have a little bit of excess, but right now we'd be running pretty close on the ragged edge to be able to cover the whole town. I'd be looking for things to cut load, so, okay.
So the cost for that flood was about $20,000?
The estimate came back, didn't I email that to you?
They have it.
I think it was $14,000.
Is it in this packet?
It is?
Okay.
Okay,
Oh, I see it.
okay, yeah, 14,000, is that right?
Yep.
Okay,
14,000.
okay.
And then that'll obviously basically be paid when we start getting those credits, right? If you
Yeah.
think about it, yeah.
And again, these credits are tens of thousands of dollars a year per unit at this point, so there is a quick return.
Yeah, did you include the sheet
I
where it
did not.
showed where the fleet would,
You know, I did not. I'm sorry, Floyd.
okay, well,
I got that.
because right now I think we're getting about 253,000. And if we throw and we get the entire fleet online, I want to say it was 420-some thousand.
That is whatever the was well.
But,
Okay.
so that's quite a difference if we get the entire fleet,
Mm-hmm.
so. Any other questions, or?
Is there a motion to approve this
Thank you.
resolution?
Make that motion.
Boots with the motion, is there a second? McNeil with the second?
Boots,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Spear,
Yes.
Leeper,
Yes.
McNeil.
Yes.
All right, moving on to the final resolution for approval, which is the 3-year cemetery maintenance contract.
Mayor, thank you. We did request quotes last month and received 3 quotes on March 17th, opened the 3 and read them aloud. And the quotes were from Grasshopper Lawn Care, Rodney Ort, and Chris Dolan. And they're listed on your agenda item, council information sheet, and also the resolution. The quotes for, we combined them so you could see them, all 3 years combined, for Grasshopper Lawn Care were $82,500, for Rodney Ort was $81,900, and Chris Dolan, $84,000. I'm just going to summarize the comments from your council communication. And we did have City Mechanic Clay Johnson assess each bidder's available equipment and found no issues, noting only that Mr. Ort, if he got the quote, got the bid, planned to obtain one additional piece of mowing equipment. All had references available. Grasshopper and Tholen provided certificates of liability insurance at the levels the city requested. Mr. Ort reported that he would be able to provide a cert of insurance, and I did hear from his insurance agent. And then the Cemetery Commission met last Thursday, the 31st, and after consideration of the 3 quotes, the commission and their written recommendations in your packet recommended council approval of Chris Dolan's quote, even though it is not the low quote, based upon the nominal difference in cost and quality of his past work. And again, that recommendation is attached. And I double-checked again today, and the City Council may award proposals based upon price and/or value for cost, and is not required to award this kind of contract based solely upon price. It is different than a street construction or a water construction bid. With that, I'll leave it open to questions. Council member Spears is a member of that commission. She was present at the meeting as well. So we'll do our best to entertain your questions and leave it to you.
spirit of competition, keep people honest, I'm just gonna go with the low bid.
Okay.
When I came on the cemetery committee, I will just say that that was exactly what the city had done, is opened it up for contract when Keith Wood left us. And we found ourselves in the most heated, unhappiest situation that I had been exposed to on council. Very often, and I'm gonna say first up, the 3 bids are all excellent. They're all excellent. But one of the things that I will address for learning, there's a learning thing out there, and what we've said and at what is written is that you're just not mowing grass at the cemetery. You're mowing people's emotions, and when people's headstones are knocked over, they're damaged, there's grass blown on them and not taken off, it's not weed eated well. Someone comes in and removes the flowers too soon. That's all a learning curve. And I think that we experienced that right out the gate with Chris and Jenny when they first took over. The only complaints we did have was the flower situation and the plants that were out there. And that just takes, a year or so of the same people doing it and knowing what people expect out there. Thus, if you look at it over a 3-year period, it was about $500 difference for the 3-year period. So the cemetery committee went with the Tholen bid.
You have in front of you a resolution, 40416E, which accepts a quote, and you'll note that section 2, the dollars and the firm blank is left blank. So it would take a council motion and second to award to whomever the council so wishes.
So we're asking motion for.
Yes, you can ask a motion for if someone wishes to make a motion for James Doe's quote.
Okay.
For that amount, that's how it would work.
Well, since it's a competitive thing amongst 3 different individuals, the 3 individuals should know that whatever the quote is may not be the low quote. But they know what the process is going to be, and they presented the quote accordingly, then my suggestion is that you go to with the lowest quote. That's competitive. It's business.
Then is there a motion for a specific contractor to be awarded this contract?
I'll motion Rodney.
So McNeil has moved to have Rodney Ort be awarded this contract. Is there a second? And Leeper has made the second.
Anderson,
No.
Spear,
No?
Leeper,
Yes.
McNeil,
Yes.
Boots.
No.
All right, so that part of the contract did not pass.
A motion.
Is there another motion for another contractor?
I would move that we accept Tholen's contract offer bid.
All right, so it has been moved that the Tholen be awarded the contract for the cemetery. Is there a second?
Second.
Anderson has made the second.
Anderson,
Yes.
Spear,
Yes.
Leeper,
No.
McNeil,
No.
Boots.
Yes.
All right, 3-2. Chris Tholen was awarded the 3-year cemetery contract. All right, then moving on down, we go to motions for approval. We have a consideration of requests for a hearing for the Louisa Generating Station Operating Committee amended energy transmission agreement. Lloyd, you're up again.
Well, this will make for some pretty dry reading when you get all of it, so, what this basically is going to be is, there's going to be probably an amendment from Mid-American, who is the largest owner of the plant. There'll probably be some operational changes and stuff like that. Exactly what they are, I don't know yet. I haven't got through all the email or all the information. I don't know how much Tim's read. But,
Very much.
yeah, I haven't read very much either, but,
Probably 100 pages of documentation.
and I think Harlan's been through the contract, or the changes, and, what other munis read this?
There's a second municipality that
Was
has
it Waverly?
probably Waverly.
And they're not seeing anything that's sticking out to them, but they both are bigger than us, and they probably got a lawyer on staff that's, oh! But, so at any rate, from what I've read of it, I'm not seeing anything, but I'm not real familiar with the old contract either. I'd have to find it and see what changes there are. But I'm imagining there's going to be some changes.
It all boils down from a change of ownership of some portion of the transmission network from one
Yeah.
corporation to another.
You know,
And in terms of its impact, it appears to be, at this point, nil, but this particular action is just to
set the hearing.
set the hearing for April 18, and there's a follow-on hearing resolution requirement in mid-May. And we are bound by contract as Louisa owners to
Have
undertake this matter.
And do this, and so.
All right. So is there a motion to approve this hearing?
I'll make that motion.
Boots with the motion, McNeil with the second.
Spear,
Yes.
Leeper,
Yes.
McNeil,
Yes.
Boots,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
All right, so that motion gets approved. So the next one, it's a brief closure on East 5th Street between Cedar and Meridian, Saturday morning, April 23rd, for a presentation by Governor Branstad. Is there, well, you can come on up, Mr. Brown.
Thank you. Greg Brown with the Hardacre Theater Preservation Association. First of all, just let me say thanks for your recent support of our project. Good news is, or other good news is that Governor Branstad has agreed to come to present to the association the plaque listing the theater on the National Register of Historic Places on April 23rd. And so in order to do that in front of the theater, since we've only got about 4 or 5 feet of sidewalk space, I'm a little concerned about safety of those people attending the event. So we're requesting that the street in front of the theater be closed off for a few hours in the morning.
All right,
I make a motion that we do that.
okay. Mr. Leeper has made a motion to approve this motion.
I'll second.
Boots with the second.
Leeper,
Yes.
McNeil,
Yes.
Boots,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Spear,
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, we have no reports to be received or filed, no discussion items, and I do not have anything to report. Council?
Oh, yeah. I went to Iowa League of Cities class this last Saturday in Waterloo, and I was glad I was there. Got some wonderful, great, usable information at this class. And it was well attended. There were probably 300 people there from state, eastern Iowa and whatever. But the men that put this on were excellent, and they had a question and answer session afterwards, and questions were asked of those two individuals that put this on, and everybody that asked the question was very satisfied with the answers that they received. And I asked the question, how can we, as a committee, as a council, increase our revenue, our tax revenue, without raising taxes? I presented that to these individuals here. I haven't heard anything back from them, but I heard an answer up there. And I'll be willing to share that when the time comes. If I get results from asking that of these other council members. So until that time comes that I get the answers from them, I'm not going to give you the answer that I got up there. But I will give it when the time is proper.
All right. Sorry, let me backtrack. I forgot this part. I just received an email today that there will be a Cedar Manor groundbreaking on April 15th. The ceremony will begin at 2:15 for their new expansion project. So it'll be up at Cedar Manor on Mulberry Street, April 15th. So, I think that's it for the reports.
Unless you guys want to know about what we've been doing at the plant. You want to know what's been going on?
Sure.
Okay, so far, we're still working on trying to get all the liners pulled out of the OP. We've run into a lot of issues with just trying to get some of it apart with some of our, what would you call those, special tools. Specialty tools, they don't work quite like how we thought. So, so at any rate on that, it's hard to make a decision what we want to do until we get those liners pulled out and we can inspect them and see where we're going to be at on them. So, I know I've been talking to Caterpillar and the Interstate both, and the Interstate's basically told me they're going to have to bow out because they don't have anything that they can give us or sell us that would be legal. So Caterpillar's working on a couple of options, but like I say, until we can really get an idea where we're going to be at and what exactly we need to do with that engine, we're still kind of waiting to get this thing finished, taken apart, and go from there.
Okay. All right, thank you. All right. Then would there be a motion for adjournment?
So move.
Anderson with the motion,
Second?
Spear with the second.
McNeil?
Yes.
Booth?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Spear?
Yes.
Weaver?
Yes.
All right, then this meeting has been adjourned at 6:03.
Yes, we do. I don't either. They're pretty good. How are you? Yeah. No, no.